We've never had an object, let alone a money, as scarce as Bitcoin before. Uncensorability is cool. Unseizability is cool as well. But to me, these really are perks. In terms of like the price going up and this thing taking over the world, if we create a pie chart, the 90%, i.e. the dominant force, which will be doing that, is Bitcoin's monetary policy. And really, it's unprintability. The fact that nobody can print beyond 21 million. That is by far the strongest and the most important innovation really here.
All right, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name is Aaron. The video you just watched was of Murad Mahmudov. He was on the Off the Chain podcast with Anthony Pompliano, making the ultimate Bitcoin argument. This was for the long term. The reason I bring him up today is because he, on Twitter, is making an argument for the short term. It is possible that where we are right now, we never get much lower than that again. Now, I know everybody's first response is to say we are definitely going lower, but that's what everybody was saying when Bitcoin was around 3,000 to 4,000 too. That's what everybody was saying when Bitcoin was around 5,000. What everybody was saying when Bitcoin was around 8,000. I want to start off saying nobody knows the future, obviously, especially not Murad or me. We're all just working off of best guesses and probability. But people who definitely don't know the future are the people in the comments section right now. I can't tell you how many comments I had when I was making videos talking about how I was buying Bitcoin at 3K and 4K. We traded down here for months and I was making plenty of videos. You can go back and read some of those comments. People calling me an idiot. People saying that, well, hey, you're dumb. I'm going to buy when it's at 2K or 1K or all these reasons why we needed to go lower. And I do want to say again, is it possible that we go lower? Yes, it is. And that wouldn't be a problem. But today, I'm going to share with you a few tweets as to why we might be going higher in the short term. And if you want to hear why we might be going higher in the long term, either you can subscribe to our channel right now, or you can listen to some more of this podcast.
Bitcoin's stock to flow ratio today is around 3.8%. And after the next halving, if you go off of the 21 million number, it's going to be 1.7%. And actually, I believe that switch from sort of low 3% to high 1% is going to be the number one sort of driver of the next big wave in 2020. We've never had an object, let alone a money, as scarce as Bitcoin before. Even gold is expanding at a rate of around 1.6% per year over the last 10 years. Now, I believe that by the late 2020s, that number for Bitcoin is going to be lower than 1%. And it is every year it's getting lower and lower. So technically, that number is getting lower every 10 minutes. And as you might know, every 4 years, there's a particularly additional sharp drop as well. And so I believe that soundness, that hardness of currency isn't palpably felt by people yet. And even a lot of participants in the market, a lot of sort of traders and investors, they don't really quite grasp this aspect yet. But I believe that this is the revolutionary thing here, and this is why I believe Bitcoin is going to be in the hundreds of trillions in today's terms in the future.
Listen, Murad, for the past few days on Twitter, has gone tweet after tweet of reasons why we might not go lower and why it's very possible we might go higher. Let's start off here. 10K is the new 6K. So everybody, you've heard this, everybody's comparing where we are right now today, just like where we were back when Bitcoin was grinding to 6K. And we, as you know, this was capitulation. We broke down, and everybody's saying that's what's going to happen with us today. There's a descending triangle here. There's a kind of a triangle pattern right here, and everybody's expecting this breakdown. Well, he's saying, yes, 10K is the new 6K, but instead of breaking down, it's going to hold, and we're going to start grinding up. You heard it here first. Now, besides that, speaking about that triangle, he's saying expect a steady ascent from here. Expect us to go up from here. So everybody's seeing this symmetrical triangle. He says it's a symmetrical triangle. I've been describing it as a descending triangle, but this is something everybody is seeing. He is showing how the descending triangle could flip to an ascending triangle, and the price would follow this blue line right here. You can see the descending triangle. You can see how that would turn into an ascending triangle, and we would break upwards. Now, I'm going to skip this one real quick. I want to go over here. He doesn't just do fundamental type analysis. He also goes over plenty of TA. I'll just show you pictures of 2 examples. I mean, go on his Twitter, follow him yourself, check this out. But plenty examples of Bitcoin's historic prices and TA showing how this is back in 2012. This is back in 2016. Basically patterns that we're seeing today, what they did back then in bull cycles. And you can see we grinded upwards and broke up, and we grinded upwards and broke up in both times. Now, besides that, nobody knows the future. That's true. Some people are pointing out that the weekly MACD bear cross, they're pointing that out like it's some kind of doom verdict. Well, ironically, it marked the local bottom every single time during the last bull cycle. I repeat for the last time, this is a bull cycle, and that is really what I think a lot of people are forgetting. Everybody's kind of in the disbelief stage. If we bring up this Wall Street cheat sheet, everybody's thinking that this bear market is going to continue, but I think a lot of people are in the disbelief stage, thinking that it's all just going to keep going, we're going to keep going downwards, and nobody's really realizing this is a bull market. Now, that was just some of Murad's view. Like I said, he's a respected analyst in the space. He's not bullish for the sake of being bullish. If he thinks we're going down, he'll tell you, and he has done that plenty of times, but he is no moon boy. In this particular case, he thinks that people are being a little bit too bearish. Now, whether we never go below 10K again, whether we dip a little bit and then rally up, regardless of what happens, I think generally what we have going on is what we have seen in this last bull market. This is from 2015, 2016, 2017, where every time the price rallies upwards, we have a little bit of a consolidation, a volatile consolidation, but then a less volatile consolidation, and you can see kind of form a new bottom and grind upwards, form a new bottom, grind upwards, and each one of these areas is a reaccumulation zone, and that is what I think we have going on right here. If you like videos like this, if you appreciate videos like this, make sure you support the channel. Take 2 seconds, like this video, and let's get into some recent news. Most Bitcoin addresses are in profit. Most Ethereum addresses are at a loss, and we have all sorts of data right here, which I'll show you in just a second. A recent study conducted by Into the Block reveals that the vast majority of addresses for the leading cryptocurrencies are at a loss. The only exceptions are Bitcoin and Chainlink. After surviving the bear market of 2018, it would be safe to assume that the majority of cryptocurrencies is at a loss. Now we have definite proof that that is the case. So this is the results. The study found that 79% of Bitcoin addresses are still in profit. I mean, right now we're trading at, you can see where we are right now is very close to the top compared to where the Bitcoin's whole history. Now, besides that, as far as Chainlink goes, it comes in second with 56% of addresses in profit. What's most shocking is the vast majority of leading altcoin hodlers are at a massive loss. 76% of ETH addresses are at a loss. 75% of Cardano addresses are at a loss. 94% of Icon addresses are at a loss, and 95% of Zcash addresses are at a loss. So you can look at the full results yourself. Another conclusion they drew, they said there's a hidden nugget of good news in all this data. Despite most of the altcoin addresses being at a loss, they don't seem to be massive selling. That likely indicates that we indeed have bottomed out if, in fact, that was not already obvious. So we're at a little bit of a standstill with a lot of these altcoins in that everybody's kind of waiting and wondering, is there going to be some final capitulation on all these coins as money goes back into Bitcoin? Well, this study suggests we may be, all these altcoins, which are definitely way down, they might be bottoming. As far as me, am I buying alts right now? No, I probably will not buy alts until Bitcoin gets to $20,000 again. I made a whole video about that. And you can go back in our history and watch that. But I'm a conservative investor, and right now I am buying Bitcoin. There will be time in the future when I buy altcoin again and altcoins again. It's probably not going to be because I believe in these altcoins long term. It is probably going to be because I believe in some of these altcoins in the short term. Once new money comes in, they're illiquid, they will pump. And I want to capitalize on that, as I'm sure you do too. But until then, I'm being conservative. I'm buying Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is an unimaginably new phenomena where for the first time, nobody can seize your wealth. Not just directly like they did with gold in the 30s, but just like they do with stealth inflation in fiat. Nobody can print more. And for the first time, you have this currency that you can have full or at least very strong confidence that for the rest of your life, the percentage of the money supply of this entire system will always remain the same, which really is completely unprecedented because even with gold, you don't have that.